Friday, it's hunger again, and I just wanted to stop real quick and thank everybody for getting me to 300 plus subscribers. I'm going to do a subscriber video that's a little different than what I normally do. Today's video, conspiracy theory. Is Right to Censor still around? Now, I don't normally like conspiracy theories, but this is one that I'm pretty fond of. I'm not the first one to say something like this, but I am going to kind of put together some of the theories into a more comprehensive video. It was the middle of the Attitude Era, the end of the 1990s, the beginning of the 2000s. A new millennium was dawning, and things were getting really, really raunchy. WWE was pushing the envelope like they never had before, and one man stood up to say no more. That man was Steven Richards. Despite his previous career as an ECW extremist, Richards stood up for morals and common decency in an era in which these types of things were frowned upon. Richards didn't have too much success by himself, but soon he was joined by another man, a man named Bull Buchanan, and the two formed a group that would be known as Right to Censor. Their view was that it was within their right to freedom of speech to deny other people their right to freedom of expression. And they did this a lot. Basically, the way it would go is a lady would come out in something skimpy, or somebody would start a profanity-laced tirade, and here would come the moral crusaders Right to Censor to put a stop to it. They'd cover up the girl or try to silence whoever was on the microphone. And for a while it worked. They kept growing. They would defeat people who they had a problem with and force them somehow to join their group. And it wasn't like they were reluctant members afterwards. There was some sort of weird power that they had to sort of bring these people around to their way of thinking and twist their logic. By the end of it, the group had 5 members, 6 if you count the cat who joined briefly before leaving the company. Eventually, the RTC disbanded. Or did they? What if I told you that they're still around? That they never disbanded, but are still within WWE today. Maybe the names and faces are different, but the group is still the same. Okay, so what if RTC is still around? Who are its members, and what are they doing? If you look at WWE programming today, it's pretty obvious that they're still there. Their philosophies have overtaken every aspect of the way the company is run. Look how politically correct they are now. Look how tightly they control everything. Now, if you want to know specifics about who the members are, I can't say that I know everybody, but I do know one really prominent one.
And his name is John Cena!
That's right. His name is John Cena. Now, you might be asking, how do you put John Cena with Right to Censor? That sounds a little far-fetched, trust me. To those who've been following these types of theories, it is definitely not. Let's go back to the very beginning of John Cena's career. John Cena comes out on Monday Night Raw, has a great match with Kurt Angle, gets a nod from The Undertaker, says, "Hey kid, you're going places." But then, suddenly he has an attitude change. Almost overnight, he starts dressing like the Doctor of Thugonomics, come to the ring and spitting crude lyrics. But at the beginning of that change, he had somebody with him. Another man who came to the ring along with John Cena. That man's name was B Squared, or as he was known in Right to Censor, Bull Buchanan. Now, Bull Buchanan is an interesting character because Bull Buchanan, at the beginning of Right to Censor's formation, there was a lot of speculation that Bull Buchanan might actually hold to Right to Censor's ideals even more than Steven Richards did. So you have to ask yourself, did John Cena fall victim to Right to Censor's brainwashing? Was he molded into some sort of sleeper agent for them? Let's go over the facts. So John Cena, in his new Doctor of Thugonomics persona, starts winning matches all over the WWE. He becomes an incredibly popular character, and eventually, he wins the title. But after his title win, there was a sort of subtle shift in his behavior. He stopped referring to his fans as the prison-themed chain gang. He stopped using as many dirty lyrics in his raps. And finally, he stopped rapping altogether. And perhaps most telling of all, he started wearing shirts, hats, and wristbands that said, "You can't see me." He even had a hand gesture where he waved his hand in front of his face and said it to his opponent, "You can't see me." Was this just a silly attempt as a catchphrase? Or was this John Cena crying for help? Was this John Cena's way of telling everybody that he was being censored? That we couldn't see the real him anymore? Perhaps the most telling is John Cena's logo. There it is, "You can't see me." And that red circle with the line through it. Where have I seen that before? That's right. It's from Right to Censor's logo. So yes, Right to Censor is still around. And John Cena, one of their most prominent members. And you know what? They've gotten what they wanted. WWE TV has been tamed and dumbed down. And even though there are still some of us who remember how things used to be and boo John Cena with all of our hearts, they don't care. They just look at it as John Cena getting the kind of reaction that any superstar would get, mixed or not. I hope you've enjoyed this conspiracy theory, and maybe it made you think. I hope not, because I'm completely BSing. This was just an idea that I had. I wanted to make a video on it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. This isn't the type of content I normally do. Uh, but if enough of you like it, who knows? Bye-bye.